Alrighty, folks, it is time that we break down the myth about assumable mortgages. If you are a real estate investor, you have undoubtedly heard about assumable mortgages, but you've also probably heard they're impossible to do. Folks, here's the deal. In 2021 and 2020, we saw a lot of FHA and VA mortgages done at incredibly low interest rates. Would it surprise you to see or understand that at least 30% of those loans are fully assumable? Yes, folks, I said 30% are fully assumable. We are going to talk with the CEO of Rome, who is helping investors get in touch with homeowners that have assumable mortgages. Ronak, how are you?
I'm great, Michael. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Well, let's introduce Rome to my audience. Who are you? What do you do? What is the platform?
Yeah, my name is Ronak. I tell people it's like ironic without the I, so very easy to say. I go by Ron at Starbucks, but
it's just easier, Ron.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they call me Juan, so it gets confusing actually. But I'm the founder of a company called Rome, ROAM, with Rome.com. What we do is we help buyers purchase homes with a 2% mortgage included, and we help sellers sell their home faster and for a better price. And the reason this works is because sellers have a 2 or 3% mortgage in a world of 6 to 7% mortgage rates that they can actually transfer to the subsequent buyer. And in doing so, can often get maybe 3 to 5% more on their sales price. And buyers can save $700, $800 a month on their monthly payment over the next 25 years. So buyers typically save in excess of $200,000, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So let's break down what an assumable mortgage is. I will take my shot at it. Please correct me if and when I'm wrong. So if rewinding the clock, and again, I've studied real estate back to 1970s, when we went through this crazy rise in interest rates in 1981, that was the birth of creative financing, folks. Like the legends, Carlton Sheets and Robert Allen and those folks. But the difference back in 1981 is all mortgages, or at least most mortgages, were fully assumable. So again, if you're in a world of 18% mortgages and you could get a 13, that was something that was done often. We also saw an environment where seller seconds, because again, much like today, sellers have a lot of equity. And what they had to do is they had to take that equity as part of a second, because again, not a lot of cash in the system. So again, very similar to today. Fast forward to the environment of 2025, we live in a world where loans were not assumable. Right? DSCR loans, things of that nature, thus the birth of Sub 2 with all of its additional risks and whatnot out there. But what I don't think a lot of people realize, and we talked about this off air, that roughly 1/3 of the VA veterans loans and FHA loans are fully assumable. So let's just talk about that 30%, because I don't think most people realize that. I think they think assumable loans are like one of those things in the history books and they don't exist anymore.
Yeah. So actually, if you think back to 2020, 2021, about a third of the loans that originated in that low rate period where everybody, your mother, brother, and cousin got a low rate mortgage, were actually transferable from the seller to the buyer. So that's about $1.5 trillion of loans that are out there that can be transferred, or about 13 million homes. So it's substantial, and I think what shocks people about this is that it hasn't really they're like, if this is such a good idea, why aren't you rich? Basically, there is some portion of that thinking. Now, the challenge here is that for sellers, they often don't know they have an assumable loan, so they don't think to advertise it as such. So we'll have this in the background, but what we can show you is that, if you go on Zillow,
I will pull it up right now,
and you're searching for homes in Houston, just as an example of what people would be doing, you can see that homes in Houston with an assumable mortgage, there's maybe only 5 of them that exist. And that's because only 5 sellers in Houston knew they have an assumable loan or were educated as such by their listing agent and then thought to advertise it. However, when you go over to Rome and you search for homes in Houston, you're actually going to find, let's see, how many? Oops, I accidentally refreshed. But you're going to find more than 2,000 homes.
So stop right there. I want to hit this again. So you went to Zillow, which again, the reason this is important, because I talk about people having a buy box and set of criteria. And again, one of the words that you can put in is assumable loans. It's a very common buy box variable. You put it in, you get 5, right? Yeah. We have it right on the screen, folks, 5. But in reality, if you go to Rome, there's over 2,000. Exactly. Now, help me understand. How does Rome know there's 2,000 when only 5 owners know there's assumable?
What we do is we actually found all these homes with 2.65, 3.09, 2.9, etc. that are available to be purchased, because we find all of the homes that are listed in America, then we find all of the loans that are underlying those listings. So by correlating those two data sets, we can identify every home that's assumable, even when the seller doesn't know, because we actually know what their underlying loan type is, what their rate was, what their estimated mortgage balance is, what their monthly payment looks like. And we can estimate for you on every single property what you're going to save when you purchase it with an assumable loan. And that's pretty substantial. Like, I don't think anybody else has ever really looked at this before.
Yeah, because I mean, let's close this out. So let's just do the final search. Can you go back to Zillow for me?
Yeah,
and pull that up, because I want to look at this, and I just want to get the ratio. So let me put this on the stage so we can all see it. So earlier on Zillow, you put in assumable mortgage, you got 5. We go to Rome, there's 2,000. Now just go to Houston and look for all the single family homes for sale. Like, how many active listings are? That's all I want to know. I want to get the ratio.
There are.
So if we take out assumable, yeah, there you go.
14,000, but I think we got to look for single family.
Yeah, let's just try to keep it as apples to apples as we can.
Houses.
So just houses, yeah.
9,000. So about 9,678 homes, single family.
Just one real simple 5-minute apples to apples. We're saying roughly 21 or 22%.
Yeah, looks like there's actually 2,500 on Rome.
Oh, so 25.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, now we're over. So roughly, using Houston as an example, 1/4 of the active listings might be assumable. Again, that's just a ratio, one city, blah blah blah. You know, do this at your own leisure, right? Go do your own search. But that is wild to think about, because again, one of the things I tell people to do is get creative, right? I think we're in a buyer's market. In Houston, we're clearly in a buyer's market, right? Texas is getting wrecked. So let's just talk about any house in Texas today and we're going to assume it's on Rome, so it's assumable. So again, just go pick a house at random. Just so we pull it up, let's pick a house at random, because I want to just break down how I would look at this, and again, give people a feel for the creative you can do in this environment.
Give me a second.
Yeah, we're doing this in real time, folks, so bear with us, because I think this is important for you. And then you have to share if you're not sharing.
Oh, yep. Sorry. 1 second. I'm
Sorry.
finding a home that makes sense to show here.
Yeah. So what we're going to do here, folks, what I'm going to try to break down is how I look at this opportunity. And I'm just going to break down some creative ways I would write this offer. And then we're going to assume if the seller knows or doesn't know, because that's going to be a conversation point. This is very much like the conversations I have with folks around seller financing when they have a large equity position. Sometimes they don't know that they can carry note or carry paper or, all of these things. So that Rome is providing such a unique opportunity for folks to, go get, 30-year money sub 3%. So let me add it to the stage.
So see it. If we take a look at some random home, this is a home that has $30,000 of equity at a 3.625% rate. So
all right. So again, these are my words, not yours. You're the CEO. I'm just some guy on YouTube. What I would do with a deal like this, again, if they only had 30K in equity, again, what I would do with this environment, because again, it's a seller's market, is I would try to buy this deal nothing down. I would try to say, I will just assume the payment and you will walk away. Now, if we assume they had 130 grand equity, I would probably write up an offer that was something like, I'm going to assume the first, I'm going to give you 20K at closing, and you have to have a seller second for, I don't know, I'm going to make up a number, 50 grand. Right. So these are all the things that you could do. Because I think one of the things we're going to see is some people have lots of equity and some people have no equity. And, the folks with no equity, like the example we just saw where they only had 30 grand, that person is stressed because what they're thinking is, how the hell do I pay the agent? Right? How do I walk away from this with nothing? And in a world of 8% mortgage rates, he's in trouble. Dude, if you only have 30K in equity, but you have a 3% mortgage, you better be selling that hard. And what we just saw earlier is the sellers don't know. They just don't know. It's crazy. Agents, shame on you. You should know this.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to show you an example. There was a property we just put under contract that had a price cut, actually, but it had a 1.75% mortgage.
Oh,
so
shut
the
up.
seller had done a price cut without knowing that they had a 1.75% mortgage, and I thought that was pretty.
You know what? I want to leave. I'm going to take advantage of having a consultation. Let's have fun with this. let's go to Fresno,
home,
California. Oh yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I was just going to show you this home at
Nope.
525 did a 25K price cut because they all message their home exactly the same. Step into this spacious colonial style home, perfectly designed for comfort and modern living. The main level features
Agents, you're not doing your job. You should star. Assumable mortgage. First thing, 1.9% mortgage. Crazy. I want to know how much, because I buy in Fresno, California. I'm going to see if Rome can get me a deal.
Fresno, I guess.
All right. Well, if not Fresno, let's do Vegas. I also buy in Vegas, Las Vegas.
Okay, more in Vegas.
Oh, now we're shopping. All right. So, let's actually get more specific. Let's try 89012.
Is that one of your favorite zips?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite zips. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Okay. Very cool.
So now what else are you looking for? What attracts you?
Let's say 4 bedrooms and above.
4 bedrooms.
And can you do equity position?
Well, we can do it by down payment because that's how most folks would think of it. But tell me what.
So my down payment?
Yes.
I don't know. I do 20%, so it's probably not fair. Let's say 50K. Let's have some fun.
50K.
And let's see what that pulls up. All right. Very cool. All right. Let's just pick one at random. Again, we're just having fun. All right. So yeah. So okay, I know that street. Okay. So what do I know? So what do I learn about this house?
So you learn what is the principal and interest going to be on this home? What's your monthly payment going to look like compared to market rates? What would you save each month? What would you save over the next 5 years? What would you save lifetime? And then if you want, we can actually show you, okay, let's say you didn't want to put down 50,000. Let's say you only wanted to put down 25,000. What would it look like? And you can see the payments actually adjust. And then if I show you the savings report, give me a second, for this home, cool. You can actually see when you download it what the gap financing would look like.
Yeah, let's say that again, gap financing, because that's one of the that's an education point. If you're going to get creative with this, folks, you're going to have to figure out how you make up the equity. And I love the fact that you called it gap financing, because again, the owner and a lot of these are going to be sitting on monster equity positions. You have to buy the first, or in this case, assume the first. And I think a lot of buyers think they have to make up the difference with cash. No, that gap you can finance. It's called a second mortgage or whatever you want to call it. And that's another opportunity for you to get in. Because I've done mortgages at 0%. Not to say your option will vary, but again, you could do 2%. You could do what I would do. I'm just playing with this in real time. Whatever the first mortgage is, call it 1.9. I would make the second the same rate. That's what I would do. At least that's where I would start and see if the seller accepts.
See if the seller accepts the second.
Yeah, the same rate, right? Hey, the first is at that rate. Why wouldn't the second? I mean, I would play that game, right? No, obviously, the second's a more risky position. Again, the seller may realize, no, 1.9 is crazy. Then I'd offer him 3.8. It's 2x the first.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, I think Rome is onto something here. I guarantee you, 99.9% of investors don't realize that upwards of 20 to 25% of a market is assumable. The fact that you've gone out there and looked at active listings, gone out and dug out the mortgage, gone out and done all that back end math it's like the unlock for creative financing.
And for investors, we largely work with folks who want to be able to purchase any of these homes because we're actually going to be able to help ensure you close in 45 days, which is often the reason why sellers won't agree to it, right? Because sellers are like, well, I need to close, I need to move into my next home, or I got to get out of this existing property. Why should I work with you on this creative financing option? So
so let's talk about it because again, I think so. We've done a great job of whetting people's appetite, but I've had people in my network, and we'll just name names. Anna Kelly, one of my millionaires that comes back every week. She tried to do an assumable loan with FHA in Texas, and she tried to do it herself. And she said she had endless calls with the servicer and this and that and the other, and it ended up being just too much work, and she gave up. Rome, you're a service provider. You do this for a living. So you would help handhold somebody through all of this. Yes.
Yeah. We basically will work with you to ensure the servicer gives you first-class treatment. You can close in 30 to 45 days. If you want to know, we often are able to facilitate this because we'll give servicers equity in the company as a function of, kind of how much value they're able to deliver. But we'll just ensure you close in 45 days. If we don't close in 45 days, we're so confident that we can meet that timeline that we will actually pay that seller's mortgage until we close. so they don't have to worry about making a double mortgage payment, if there's any anxiety.
There's a give.
And that money doesn't come out of your pocket as the buyer. And so
say that again. So again, I just want to paint the picture. You get in contract. It's with Rome. Again, don't do this all by yourself because you got to be doing this with Rome. You have a 45-day clock. For whatever reason, this thing takes 60. Another mortgage payment's due. The seller doesn't pay it. The buyer doesn't pay it. Rome pays it.
Yes, exactly. I think one thing that's actually mistaken is oftentimes it'll take up to 180 days simply because servicers are not staffed with loan officers for this. They're staffed with underwriters and processors. So it's more back-end staff who are taking advantage of that type of transaction. And the problem there is that they're often speaking a different language compared to the consumer, right? They're like, hey, what's this Macy's late from 2017? And the buyer's like, I never went to Macy's. Can you call them?
Yeah, I don't know what
like, yeah, no, that's your job. And so it ends up just leading to more confusion and frustration on both sides. So we'll help make sure everybody's on the same page, that you get secondary financing or gap financing as needed to close on the property, that you'll close in 45 days, and that you can just have peace of mind. All you got to do is go shopping, find the home you love, and then we'll help you close.
Well, let's take one other objection I hear a lot again that I think is kind of rooted in truth, but there's a bigger story to bring its false. And again, that's doing with VA loans. Again, one of the greatest benefits if you serve our country in the military is you have the ability to get VA loans. And, sometimes, those, people need to move or have bad circumstances and they need to sell. And those loans, frankly, have always been assumable, but most people think they can only be assumed by other military folks. So break that down. What's truth? What's fiction? What do you got?
Yeah, actually, any VA loan can be assumed by anyone, and it can even be assumed by an investor. Now, people commonly ask, why would a veteran part with this entitlement? It's because upon second-time use of your entitlement, there's a 3.3% funding fee. And most veterans don't actually know this. It's pretty exorbitant, though. That means that for every dollar you lend, they take 3.3 cents out of it. And this is pretty tough for a lot of folks to swallow. And oftentimes what happens is, as a veteran who's selling their home, when you move on to your next home, you can use the surplus of equity you built up in the existing property to purchase the next one. Now, you don't want to pay the funding fee. You're willing to use a conventional home loan or any other type of home loan to be able to purchase. And so as a result, we find that a lot of veterans are willing to part ways with their existing VA loan and lend a portion of the entitlement to an investor, especially if that investor makes a compelling offer. This is just about liquidity for the seller in a lot of these cases, and then you can use that equity they built up in their existing property to purchase the next home. Yeah,
I love this. Again, I think Rome is doing some very special things. You're helping sellers. Again, I think in most of the country, we're in a buyer's market, certainly in Texas, certainly Houston is a perfect example of this. 25% of loans are assumable. That market would be completely different if on Zillow, you put in assumable mortgage and more than 5 listings came up. I promise you it would be completely different. And that's why you exist. That's why Rome's there to provide that platform. Where should an investor go to see what's what in their market?
You just come to withrome.com and you can search for homes that you're looking at and just hit get pre-qualified, and we're going to help you take the next step.
And again, it's with Rome, ROAM, withrome.com.
Exactly. You got it.
Folks, do me a favor.
Phone number at the headline. If you have any questions, just call our phone number and somebody will call you.
You know what? Let's give them the phone number. This is going to make it easy. What's the phone number
to call is 888-708-9602.
All righty, folks. I hope several of you watching this take action. A lot of you are in my community, so send me a text, send me a message. Let me know what you thought of Rome. I think they are truly solving a problem. It's also providing you an opportunity to get creative. I've always told you that in a buyer's market, creativity wins. You now have a new tool to find new opportunities. Go hunting. Ronik, this is amazing, man. I think you're doing good work. Take care.
Thank you.
Got it.